I'm Jonathan Makeley. I'm the town historian, and I'm here to talk about the history of the county almshouse, or the county home and farm. The county poorhouse had arisen as a result in shifts in how the state handled the treatment of poor and destitute residents. In 1824, the state had passed a law requiring counties to create county almshouses, and poorhouse was completed in 1831. It would end up running as a almshouse until 1969, and eventually was abandoned in 1976. The almshouse evolved over time, seeing some of its worst reported conditions back in the 1850s and 60s to seeing improvements in the 1880s and onwards, until eventually being devastated by a fire in 1923 and being rebuilt and spending its final decades in operations.
Hello, my name is Judy John Curry. I am the founder of the New Era Paranormal Investigators. The New Era Paranormal Investigators group was founded to help younger adults get involved with the paranormal field and learn from creating paranormal content. One of our big projects will be a documentary series named the Remnants Project. The Remnants Project will be a series of investigations focused on expanding the documented history of historical locations and events. For this pilot episode of the series, we will be featuring the Almshouse, which is located at a private residence in western New York. For the investigation, we will have our most active members from the time, which includes me, Brooke, Sebastian, and Christina. We all have a pretty extensive background in the paranormal. Brooke, Sebastian, and Christina all have a lot of experience with psychic research.
Now, with the almshouse, the people who lived here tended to be among the most disadvantaged people in the county. This included people who had become poor for some period of time, whether that be through economic downturns that occurred throughout the centuries, or through personal troubles such as family member dealing with problems with drinking and driving the family into poverty, or facing unemployment and not being able to get work in time. And for those residents, there was hope of trying to help rehabilitate them, to teach discipline and skills, to help them break old habits and move towards being able to return to regular society. And then there was also more long-term types of residents. These included those who were deemed as mentally ill or disabled or had chronic health conditions. Back then, there was the understanding of disability and mental health was not as advanced as it was today. Oftentimes, there was a lot of limited understanding. In addition, you also had a significant portion of the population who were elderly. Back before there was Social Security, there wasn't much in the way of sources of income after you stopped working, so elderly residents who didn't have family to take care of them could end up spending their remaining years in the poorhouse. In addition, you also had some children who resided within here, as some of them came as children of families who had ended up here. Others were children who were born to women who were residing within here.
See, now over here it starts getting a little more crowded. It's a real interesting building, I'll give you that. I'm still feeling like there's I don't know if it's got something to do with water or electricity that they made. It's it was like a mini factory a little bit. Does anyone know if this is relevant? Because I feel like it was like a miniature factory. Not so much as things around it, but to maintain this place, because it was kind of big for what it was, I think.
They would have been doing agriculture as
Things like that,
a business.
but it wasn't. Okay, so it was kind of as a business, because it doesn't feel I know they say it's a poorhouse, but it doesn't feel like a bunch of necessarily nothing going on here. It's not like they're just lounging around doing nothing. I feel like it's very busy and going on, but it's somewhat productive.
The farm aspect played a significant role with the residents. Those who were deemed capable of working were assigned either chores around the house or to work on the farm, in which on the farm they would grow vegetables, fruits, and take care of animals such as cows and chickens and pigs and sheep. They would produce various food products from that, which were either used in the almshouse or were sold for money to help finance the operations of the almshouse.
Were there boilers and stuff down here?
Yeah, but not that direction.
No, I'm just saying in general, because I feel like it's hot. Just in general.
I think you'll recognize it here in a second.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
On March 15th, 1923, a fire had broken out in the boiler room of the poorhouse, which was noticed by two staff members who then ran to alert Hall and his family. Though in the time they had to alert him, the fire had exploded into a corridor which caused it to rapidly spread throughout much of the building, particularly towards the women's dormitories. Hall and the staff members had rushed to try to evacuate the residents. They were able to get all the residents in the male dormitories out. But since the female dormitories had been hit more hardly, they had to try to do rescue operations. They managed to save 14 women and 2 infants from the dormitories, but fortunately they weren't able to reach several elderly and bedbound residents on the second floor who ended up dying in the fire. Eventually the group of volunteer firefighters managed to make it to the poorhouse and put out the fire, but by the time it was put out, most of the building had been destroyed except for the men's dorms and outside farming buildings. In the end, the poorhouse had ended up losing 7 female residents and 2 male staff members, which news reports from that time had stated it as one of the worst tragedies that had occurred in the county's history.
I'm still getting the impression of kids even, like, I don't know why that's coming up. I know there were a lot of adults here, but a lot of the impressions I still get are kids, which it's like an odd spot for kids to be if they weren't doing some kind of work. I don't know how old this is. Maybe it was back when they utilized child labor, I don't know.
Initially, there wasn't an age limit for children until in 1876 when state passed a law that made it so that children under the age of 3 couldn't stay in almshouses. After that, children above the age of 3 were transferred over to a nearby boarding house to receive housing and schooling.
I feel like, again, the 50s and 60s are really relevant somehow to this history. That I got pulling right on up. It was like I heard the music even from there going.
After it was established in 1831, the almshouse gradually declined into some of its worst reported time periods in the 1850s and 60s. Reports from that period had stated that the building had become run down, it was poorly heated, the building was understaffed, the residents were often being neglected, you had limited food supplies, the doctor contracted to provide medicine wasn't doing their job well.
Piece of history that you don't know yet is apparently some residents here were actually kept in cages down here in the basement.
That would make more sense, but I don't think that was here. I'll give you where I think that was. I think this was a lot more built up than it was down in here.
Yes, I have no idea.
I think we've got some things missing right along here.
You had those deemed mentally ill being locked in cells where they were sometimes chained up, oftentimes for long periods of time. Additionally, employees may punish those who were considered residents who were considered unruly by beating and whipping them. And those poor conditions lasted for a number of decades until you got into the 1880s.
I think there was a lot going on over here.
This is where you're feeling that energy.
I think so, yeah. Because I feel like there's things missing over here. I mean, I see this, but I feel like you couldn't, even if you looked in, couldn't see over there. The back windows I don't think mattered much, but see this kind of makes me feel like that as well. And I feel like this might be the residue of what's no longer there on the opposite side. And I feel like there was more, like it looks like screen here, but I feel like it was more than screen, like covering it so you couldn't see through it from these windows. And I think that just stayed overgrown for a long time.
I'm not sure. They might not have, they probably didn't want anybody to see all the stuff that was...
Right, and agree. And I think that's also another thing is because I feel like that door right there is another reason for that. Like it's kind of in this general area around this door that I get to feeling anything that I might associate with that. And honestly, I think it makes more sense now that you say that, because I've been trying to figure out why there'd be bodies around here. I think there's like 2 or 3 bodies on the property.
On this property?
On this property somewhere. And I was looking out back really heavy. So I don't know, because I asked Brooke a little while ago, I said, hey, there's something, just yes or no, is there something out back there? More to this out back that I can't see? Because I feel like there's something out there. And she said, yeah, so that's one of the pits we got to make, because I think somewhere out in the woods, out back in that general area, there might be a few bodies. Old ones that have been there for a while. Yeah, see, because even over here, I'm feeling things like these weird pains over here under my rib cage. I don't know, maybe this is a kidney or something like back here that I'm feeling it. And it's in this section since we walked back from where we just were standing. So it's definitely something in here, I think. You pick up on anything good?
Yeah, I keep seeing like a little boy.
I said that earlier. Does he have short black hair?
Yes.
Yes, I told
He keeps asking to play ball.
There's the one earlier when I showed up, that was the one in the window and he wanted to play with the piano.
Mm-hmm.
One of the pianos he's mad about being broken up there. So it's cool that he wanted to play ball. Where is he? Is he over here? Is that what you were interacting with?
Yeah, I saw him like over there. He was following me when I was up there by.
He's a curious little guy, because when I
Yes.
first was walking out back in the driveway, that was the one I mentioned to you. I said, oh, I seen a face. I said, it's a little guy, like, definitely.
Yeah,
It
and I picked
noticeably
up on
black hair.
the same male too. Like very like I kind of got like what are you doing
Like a warden is the only
Yes.
way I can think of explaining it, even though this isn't a jail or nothing, so there should be no warden. But
That will probably be expanded upon.
did you, I was going to say, because I was going to wonder, did you pick up, because what impression I got, maybe I can give more detail on the description of the guy, the warden I'll call him. Like his face is a little more heavier, he's not as skin, like, he's got like more to him than you do, you know what I mean, everywhere. You know,
kind of like rounded.
yeah, but not so round that he can't get around. It looks like he has like one of those kind of like mustaches and like dark hair. I feel like it might have been a really dark brown hair for him, like really dark brown hair. I feel like he might have had a stick or a cane or something. Maybe in the later half of his life or years or something. Because I feel like I'm hearing like a cane or something clinking and hitting the store on the ground. I mean, but it doesn't feel like he necessarily needed it even necessarily.
I feel like he used it more
liked
just to
like
make
a
noise with
status,
the
felt
make
like-
his.
It felt like power
Yes.
or a status to him. I think it feels like more than he necessarily needs it because of a hip or a back problem or something. It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm feeling more. It was just
Or
power
intimidation.
making. Yeah,
And maybe
yes.
intimidation, that's a good word, yeah. That's kind of what I get in this general area. And I think he might have had something wrong. Maybe if we ever found this person and maybe found their medical records, if that was a thing, I feel like there was something wrong with his stomach. This is probably from his drinking. But I also feel like there's something with the feet, and I'm hearing gout. So I wonder if this old biddy had gout. So I don't know, maybe that's more things that we can tie down or validate or whatever. I originally picked up on something in the 50s and 60s, like it's like I heard that kind of music even when we were pulling in. So I just felt like that was something big going on around this time, and I feel like this was the 1950s or the 1960s. Also, I don't know why I feel like the 1860s is maybe when it was built though. Like in that, like somewhere around there, maybe the 1870s or something, it's like obnoxiously old for what it is. It doesn't even feel American for what it is. It feels more like British style of like concept to me. A lot of just the energy just feels casual. It feels like a lot of people came through this building though. That you can definitely pick up on. Not necessarily that they're stuck here or anything, but you can pick up on the fact that a lot of people came in and out of here and lived in here during its heyday. Some for a long time, some for a short time. I feel like a lot of the people that worked here kind of stayed here a lot or were here a long time. I definitely pick up on it's odd that the women are on that side of the building, yet I pick up on kids over here. I don't know. I bet you that they'll see I get the impression that there's a spirit that likes to hang out up here. Like sometimes I feel like they might see one of them. I'm feeling like it's a portrait. I think it's this one that you'd see him on. You'll be likely to see him on or catch him on camera or hey, I think I seen someone
Do you
up
know
there.
details about the spirit? Is it the kid again?
No, this one looks like a tall, lanky guy. He doesn't have too much of facial hair, just a little bit of a mustache, the one up there. And it was like short, it was
Threw me off.
a little lighter brown. Now I feel like we got a lot more activity that goes on over here. Is this the part they like to renovate more or what? Do we know?
I don't really. I
I'm
feel
starting
like
to feel like
this
over
place
here-
up and down is like a lot of energy.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of actual things go on in this part.
This room is the one that just seems like it was left in time.
I wish, we don't know when this, you said it was in the 1800s?
We can look it up.
I wonder if they had pigeons around here. I feel like there were birds they maintained. I don't know if it was for post or what, but I feel like they maintained birds. I don't know if it'd be chickens or pigeons or what. But I do feel like they maintained some birds somewhere. This feels like more carrier though, like messages and stuff. Like, is it that old that they would have used that system of communicating with people? These I could see as being rooms. These did not feel like rooms over here. Like this I could see, I just feel like this is more production. I feel like they made more things than they did like recreationally over here. It doesn't feel like necessarily the living space on this floor. Maybe above us I could pick up on that or see that. I could
Could
feel
have
that.
processed everything that they made on the farm.
That could be, yeah, I don't know, because I feel like there's that like stuff coming in this way. And that's what these people would be helping with, whatever they were doing out here. So it doesn't feel like living to me, it feels more work. I think maybe after a time, maybe it became leisure, but I think it was originally for work. Oddly enough, I mean, I know it's supposed to house a lot of people, but it feels like a lot of it's work. You said industry, what did they make? Just farm stuff? Because again, I still get like industry as far as like making like and maintaining machinery besides farm machinery. It'd be like, I'd feel like it'd be for a hotel or something like with, I mean, the kitchen would probably be heavy duty, but like this feels like more electric, like they had an electric house. I feel like they had like a big, like something to do with water being a big thing. Maybe that's just where it took the most workers or effort, I don't know. Now this feels more like rooms, normal rooms. Yeah, this is definitely casual living. This is the other smoke area, bathrooms. They must have shared bathrooms and kitchen areas though.
See, I'm not sure how many residents would have been in a room. I don't feel like it's one because
Like bunkhouses.
at one point, this entire facility has 100 people, so.
Right. I mean, it's big. They would, for 100 people, that wouldn't be too hard to fit them in at all. I think some of them had their little private bedrooms, but I think a lot of them were bunked, like these long rooms. These were bunked.
This also is part of the renovation, as it says, conference room for the tax office, the county.
Well, then again, that's what it could have been after, you know what I was going to say, after it was something else even, because this feels like it's been like 2 or 3 things in this lifetime. Feels like it's been like a few things, and it's like different timelines I'm picking up on.
It was the courthouse for the majority, and then it was like part of the county office for a brief period of time.
Almshouse would continue operating into the 1960s until it was shut down by the State Board of Health in 1969. After that, it was used for several years as office buildings for certain county departments, including the Department of Public Welfare and Health, until eventually the county had constructed new office buildings. In 1976, Almshouse building was abandoned by the county.
Okay, how interesting. That's interesting, because I was like, it's like very like secretarial, clerical, like work, like that kind of work, like paperwork work for some of it. But then other parts of it felt very industrial, like not in an office. So I was like, that's a lot of administration. That's what I said a few times, I think. That's a lot of administration, so that makes a lot more sense. I could see where you'd pick up on a lot of different like activity in this strip right here. I could definitely see where you get a lot of activity up here. It doesn't look like much now, but definitely I can see where Darkness Falls having a camera up here. Do you catch doors slamming?
The door on the room that I had you check out is actually one that continues to shut.
So it closes like this or slams
On its
itself?
on its
Okay,
own.
because I was going to say, now that I'm over here looking down the hallway, now I'm seeing a spirit, like, not that it's happening now, but I'm seeing that they like to slam or close doors. Is there pipes knocking around here that you hear?
I've heard a deadbolt lock.
So I got the door. Now I feel I hear metal, like clanking. Again, I feel like they like to play with their metal. And I feel like if it was up and running, we'd say it was the boilers or the furnace or registers or whatever. But
So
this is not the furnace or
There was
registers.
activity already.
Say it again. No, I feel like this is one you might pick up because this is something they like doing in general. Yeah, I definitely feel it's going to be active up here tonight even. And again, doors, clanging metal, things like that I feel like this up here is good for. I'm also hearing scratches. I'm hearing scratching, like,
I've never experienced scratch.
well, maybe we will hopefully tonight then. Because I'm hearing like,
I'm sure we're going to experience something.
because I'm hearing like, I don't know what it is, but it's like that kind of like, that's what it sounds like to me. Not that it's happening now, it's like I'm picking up like with the doors and stuff. So I think there's two spirits that had died in this vicinity as women. The first one with the heart, I think she had a little bit of meat on her bones, not like fat or anything, but I feel like she had like a darker grayish hair. She wasn't like young per se. And she seemed she had some weight to her. Now the other one I feel like was a smoker and she died of like a lung issue. This one was more skinny, frail, and she seems kind of like short. I don't know how else to say that without being rude. It's short. She seems like a shorter lady, but she smokes like a chimney. She seems like she has a really raspy voice, like a Cher voice or something, like a smoky voice. And I had gotten that. Say it again.
How healthy was she then?
The second one, not much. The one with the heart seemed like she was healthy, and then just her heart kind of said, okay, you should have done a little better. But the one with the, that one was unexpected, the heart one. The one with the lungs, she knew it was coming, I feel like, and she just was smoking the whole time. I feel like it was really related to smoking and the lungs. And they must have hung out down here a lot, or their rooms were down here. Well, these were a rowdy bunch of ladies, I feel like. What was it, like 30, 40 years as a government building? We'll have to check that, because I feel like it's 30, 40 years. I'm trying to unmesh timelines here. I think that might have been the big thing that happened in the 50s or 60s that I talked about. Because it was a big deal around this place in the 50s or 60s, whatever it is. And the only thing I could kind of think of is that renovation you keep speaking of. Because this was a big deal for the building, so to speak. Prior to the offices, so. I feel like some of these ladies did what they had to for money. You know what I mean? I really still get that impression. There might have been a few prostitutes or something that, stayed here or lived here. Because I totally still pick up on that from a few of them. It's not like it was a den of them, but there was a few that they knew. I think they were known to wander around at night, a few of them. And I feel like the ladies are a bit active. I feel like a lot of lady spirits are active here. I know of one boy that's active. I know of maybe 2 guys that are active. But I feel like there's like 4 women that are messing around. So I feel like you can get a lot on this side too. I feel like the middle's one of the dead zones for catching things. Yeah, that's what I got so far. Yeah, they love spending time on there. The porches were a definite selling point for this place, I feel like. People love these porches, you could tell. Because you could tell a lot of people spend time on them, be it for smoking or maybe just relaxing, I don't know. I think even when it was government offices, they liked it out here. I don't know, all of these porches seemed like a lot of people came to them. I know nowadays it seems like a concept, a lot of people don't like porch sitting and whatnot, but here, I feel like a lot of people are on the porches. And they looked, I feel like, way different than they do now.
So historically speaking, what you were saying was truthful. As far as the prostitution, not necessarily prostitution, but if you think about that 1950s Mad Men type era, you would have had women who were secretaries making minimum wage well below that man would have been slapped on the butt, like, here honey, here's some extra money. So to them, yeah, we can look at it today as prostitution and that they were kind of doing what they needed to do to survive. But in that time, you know, secretaries were well below. You had those, you know, the punchers and all of that. So it wasn't necessarily that they were the women of the night, but definitely that, like, I will do what I need to do to survive because I need a husband or because my husband died or whatever the case may be. Those communal rooms, as you were talking about the different wings, so that big open area would have been kind of that living space. So that's where they would have sat and played cards and watched TV. You would have had those spaces of their separate rooms and then those communal bathrooms. So that was a typical of a hospital, a sanatorium, you know, any of those type of hospital situations. Yeah, you would have had those places where you sat with multiple people. The porches, things like that, that would have all been communal space. You would have only then retired to your room if you had someone that was really kind of naughty or had some mental disabilities. That's
Well,
where you would
you know,
have
it's funny you say that because I was going to ask, I thought about asking, on the way pulling in, I wasn't sure if it was here or the Amish house, but were there sick people here? Like, because I felt like pulling up that there were a few sick people that they kept isolated.
Yeah. So
Like, to yourself, like, we barely even went in there.
The reason why I asked more about that is because there was mentally ill that was kept here, but
Okay. That could make sense too, is to locking someone in a room. I feel like there was other, though, to TB was the other thing I was going to ask, because for me it felt like with TB, you lock someone away and stay away.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what I was getting at when we were driving up, because TB, you're more bedridden.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the sense I was getting, is we're just going to leave them in bed and what happens, happens. And
Well, that's where you could have picked up on those deaths, where it wasn't necessarily a murder or suicide, things like that. It might have been like, hey, we're here for breakfast. Okay, they're gone. Like, we need to go now take care of this. So.
okay. I feel like the ones they locked in the cages weren't even necessarily like mentally ill, per se.
The ones that they...
Unruly, that could be one thing. I think there were a few they just might not have had liked, or there was like some vendettas against, you know what I mean? Things that we don't know happened behind closed doors.
Maybe that's where you felt that warden thing of like...
He probably
you're
did
not
that. This is my
prisoner,
home.
but
This is
you're-
my home.
Right.
You know
I'm gonna do what I
mean?
need to do, that cane, that...
Yeah, that guy was
Disciplinary.
really, and that could be where that warden aspect came from too, because he is that authoritative, like,
Yeah.
this is my house.
Yep.
You know what I
You're
mean?
gonna listen to me whether
Right.
you like it or not.
also on previous investigations of this location, we have found that some spirits are intimidated by something that used to reside in that house that the Amish have, which was believed to be the overseer, and there was a case, like a documented case, where there was abuse like too far at this location, and it was reported to like a court system.
Okay.
So
I just, there's a lot that I picked up on that I can't even pick, like, as far as tell apart, like, body-wise, I felt a lot, like, it felt like cuts, like,
Yeah.
when I was assumed, like, someone would be cut open, like, and this isn't a hospital for surgery.
You even think about being strapped to a bed, you're twisting and turning and writhing, these were probably metal.
That makes sense, and I thought that too, because I was like, well, if it was metal, it could even get cut that way if you're wiggling and stuff, so.
I'm assuming they weren't nice plush thick mattresses. Or it could have been just a punch to the side, you know, you were unruly.
So, yeah.
okay, so spirits, we wanted to try to do something that would remind you of when this place was in use. So we set up essentially a small conference space for you to come and visit with us, introduce yourself, talk about yourself, your past here. This chair is dedicated are there for you to use. If you do sit down in it though, there is a cat ball, which is the clear ball in the bottom of the chair, and that will go off, as well as these lights going across the floor and onto the chair will like change to show that you're here with us. So if you would like to come sit down one at a time and talk with us, please go ahead and introduce yourself. What is your name? Also, to point out, you have several different audio recorders here on the table, so if you speak, we should be able to hear you through these devices that have a red light on them. Also, that device you should be able to manipulate so that we can hear your voice through that too.
We invite any spirits in this land or property to come and sit with us and join us. Our purpose tonight is to sit and join and commune with you. Join our energies, join us, communicate with us. We've saved a spot for you. We welcome any spirit that's stuck or in this land or building to come and join us. Can you play with any of the devices around us or move something to make your presence known to us?
There's a very active spirit up here. Can you introduce yourself to us? Can we have a conversation? You've given me a lot of activity over the years. These just went off.
Come and tell us your story. We'd love to hear about your experiences in the building.
Or your lifetime.
Yeah, or your life.
Were you a patient? Or did you used to work here?
Please give us a sign you're with us. Move something, touch someone. Do anything that you can to make us have your attention.
If there's a spirit that's feeling shy, we're all sitting down to make you feel more comfortable. We don't mean any harm in any way. Like, we're just trying to communicate with you in your home.
It's like there's one outside of the door that's like afraid to come in, kinda.
I was thinking the same exact
It's
thing.
like right there, and it's afraid to come in, and I feel like it is masculine.
I felt the same
It's a
thing.
bit taller as well. It's like right on the other side of the doors, or the light switch. Right on the other side of the door. It's like he's peeking in and wants to. I feel like we have to give more energy. Use your auras and expand them so that we can be in one big aura around us, because then they can use our energy. I can't do it alone. So I need you guys to like imagine your aura real close to you and then push it out so that all of our auras can join as one. And then I can circulate the energy from there, but you gotta tap in with me. And then I can spin it around more so that they can come in easily. That's how we give them energy so they can manifest easier.
Trying to make you feel as welcome as we can. Just sitting down at a table, having a conversation. There are a couple people that are walking around, but just, they're not going to do you any ill will. They're just here to document our communication.
If there are any spirits in this property or location that can hear us, please give us a sign you're with us. Any sign. Knock on the walls, tap, scratch, drop something. Interact with any of the machines around us. Give us any kind of sign that you can that you are hearing with us.
As soon as like I tapped in a little bit more, I feel like I could feel my body ever so slightly spinning.
Did you see me looking over here with
Yeah,
my eyes
yeah.
Because there was a woman over here.
Yeah, I was looking
That's
over
what I
there
was
too.
thinking.
There was a woman
Yeah, I was
over
looking
here.
over there
The
too,
little
yeah.
boy was watching through the window, and the one
Yeah.
that wanted to come in and wouldn't was a male figure.
Mhm.
The woman, she's observing.
Yep.
The male, it's like he wants to interact but isn't.
Yeah.
It's like he's
very,
not
like,
he's not
standoffish.
taking the
Yeah.
bite.
Yep.
The child's incurred. He's inquisitive. He's outside
He's
the
been
window.
following us the whole day.
He's outside the window
Yeah.
watching in. This guy, it's like he keeps looking in, and it's like you don't want to interrupt a meeting. I wonder. And this one, I don't know. She's just inquisitive as
Yeah.
all get up.
Yeah, as soon I could feel it like internally, this circling.
I definitely
Just
feel.
make-
I was
Sure.
going, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what I do. Once our
Yeah.
energies are together, I stir it, so it's not stagnant. Yeah. To the spirits that are watching and listening, please draw closer and near. Please touch any of the machines, even a person, as long as it's not harmful. Make thy presence known. Now the male, it's like he's standing in the middle of the door now. But the female, it's like she took 2 steps closer. Please continue to come closer. Please interact with us and communicate with us. Give us a sign of your presence, if you can, a message. What business do you have in this place? If there are no spirits that would like to communicate, we'll end this session and move on. So now is your chance. We need you to interact with any of the machines or any of the people here, or we're going to pack up and move on. You'll miss your chance for your story to be told.
Is the fact that we're in a big group intimidating?
No. It's usually more energy. It's probably the light shining in. It's not that you can't do seances in light, because you can. It's just more harsh for the spirits sometimes.
Is there a reason that they're more active at night?
It's not about night, it's just a spectrum of light. It could be daytime if we were filtering out this white light and using any other spectrum of light instead. It has something to do with it. It doesn't stop it. It's not that they can't. It's like it makes it more harsh for them. Harder to work, if that makes sense.
It does.
During the day with and it's not the dying, it's the light. It's the type of light I feel like.
Something must have happened behind our...
What are you experiencing?
It sounds like somebody's walking behind me.
Walking behind you?
Like things crunch, but I haven't moved.
I'm not.
I heard the crunching, but thought you moved. Oh.
It was, and it was.
No, I
over
heard
here.
the crunching,
Yeah.
but thought you moved. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because I was hearing that whistling, so it's like someone's pacing probably.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna close this circle and all communications with it. The seance is coming to an end, and any spirits that didn't talk will have a chance at the next one. And we're closing the circle and calling back our energies.
Is that you?
No,
You
that,
making noise?
that was that thing, I think.
Sounded like a...
Yeah.
It does sound like it would have came through a speaker though.
So you had mentioned during the seance that you had seen some things in the hallway that we didn't catch?
Yeah, just I came out here after we did some of the filming. Well, you were doing your session in there. You were saying I heard you saying there was someone at the door.
Yes.
There was someone
Yeah.
peeking in.
Yeah.
And during this, I kept on seeing just these specific ones lighting up either blue or green.
Okay. And you guys can't see this, but our cameraman's nodding yes, so they must have seen it as well.
I'll nod yes on her behalf.
Yeah.
No,
So
it
there's
was-
2 of us that seen it with their eyes. We just weren't fortunate enough on camera.
Yeah.
We'll catch it later.
Okay, so we're gonna light up some brand new candles. They haven't been opened yet. They've still got the casing on them. Trying to get some action out of the spirits that might have experienced the fire that happened here and know why it actually happened, seeing the historical town person that had the information for us said that one of the mysteries of the location is that they don't know why the fire was started here. So we're going to try to light these candles up and then just try to speak about the fire and see if we can get a response as to why.
See if we're triggering anything. Trigger anything.
Hopefully we don't provoke though.
Guess we'll see.
And another notable mystery has to do with the fire of 1923, which officials at the time were never able to figure out what exactly had caused the fire in the boiler room to occur. All those know is that it started in the boiler room and it spread out.
Doesn't it look really smoky in there? It looks like there's smoke in there.
Seeing that earlier, but I thought maybe it was just like
I didn't really notice it till now, but it seems really smoky in this back room. I mean, I was literally just in there a few minutes ago, and it didn't seem that smoky. Come get this. Yeah, come catch this on camera, because I was just, like, look at all this smoke. I was just in here a few minutes ago, and all this smoke was not here.
Do you know anything about why the fire started? No. That was a clear no.
Was it intentionally started, the fire? Was the fire accidental? So the fire was started on purpose?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Was it a resident or a worker who started the fire?
Not like I said, I did it. It did.
Is the spirit who started the fire in this building here? Are you proud of starting that fire? Were you trying to...
Curry? Do you guys remember me?
I do, it said.
Do.
Do.
I've visited you guys a decent amount of times now.
Will you mess with these flames to give us a signal?
Yeah.
Why was the fire started?
Was the person trying to harm somebody?
Was the fire starter mad? Why was the fire starter mad? Is that fire starter with us? The spirit of the fire starter is not here with us now? A man started the fire? Was it a man that started the fire?
Do you even want to talk to us about the fire? That was kind of weird.
Kind of like crying.
Yeah. It's kind of hard because it spits out so many words at a time, like sounds at a time. House.
Can the spirit in that hallway talk to me?
Sounded like it said baby.
Why are you hiding in that hallway? That door.
Yeah, that's where.
Come out of the darkness and talk to us.
Yeah, that's where I was typically looking at that.
Will you come out of the darkness in that hallway and talk to us? To the spirit that I'm pointing to, come and talk to us. Why are you hiding? Are you here by choice?
Was this your home?
Was this your home? And yeah. I heard yeah at the end.
Light. We've gotten a lot related to light. Told you.
Are the lights bright?
Does the bright light bother you?
Is
Is that why you haven't crossed over? Does the light bother you?
Are you choosing
Mom?
to stay here?
No? Are you forcibly stuck here? Is something holding you here?
We're crying.
Is there a spirit holding you here? Do you choose to stay here?
What was that?
Sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello! To the little boy spirit that's been playing with us today. Can we know your name? Does your name begin with a P?
Ian? Yeah, Ian.
Did I hear Ian? Is that little boy's spirit around us now? Do you want to play a game with us? When? Right now.
Later.
Do you want to play a game right now, Ian? Sure. We have lights over here to my right. If you light that up, that'd be pretty fun. If you shake this ball, it'll light up. If you shake this ball, it'll light up. To the little boy spirit, if you'd like to play a game, move these balls.
Is there anything out that way?
I see. I did.
Light them up or move them. Good job, little buddy. Can you light up and move another one? Can you light up and move this other one? Good job, Ian. Let's keep playing. Can we light up the other ball? Can we keep playing, Ian? That was a good job. Can we play and move the light again? Can we turn the light on or move the ball again? Thank you, Ian. You're doing great, buddy. I love playing this game. My turn. Now will you light your ball up again? Come on, Ian, play with me. Turn your light on. Move your ball. I did mine. It's your turn. Ian, where'd you go? Please turn your ball on again. Well, if you want to play, light this ball up again. I got him to do it twice, though.
Good job, Ian.
Is the warden down here with us? Yeah? Why did you feel like you had to treat people that way? The people that were here were already going through some tough times. Why did you feel that you had to be empowering and like stress the point of you having power?
To me, it feels colder.
Yeah.
Like
Just talking
colder.
about that.
More than just regular chills. It's dropped temperature.
But I feel like something's just kind of like really showing their power.
You feel
I
a
think they're
powerful
no. I think
presence in
they're
here?
gaining. I think they're
I
gaining.
just referred to the
power more than
warden,
anything.
and the warden was like overpowering everybody else that was staff in this location. So the warden.
Well,
is
it was
not
right
a good
around when the
figure.
voice changed that the boy went away and stopped playing with me. And I wondered that while I was standing over there, and you guys are confirming it then. Because it's like after that second time, it's like he skedaddled out the back.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's like he went booking it out the back, and so that presence coming this way could have been the warden.
I saw some earlier.
So the presence coming this way could have scared the boy's spirit down and out, and that's why he stopped playing and took off.
Like, I don't know why. I'm getting spooked.
It's the energy is changing.
The
that's
energy
for
is
sure.
changing because they're warming up.
He's so heightened
It's
right
it's
now.
getting
I'm, like,
momentum.
scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Warden, were you here when the fire was started? When that was an accident? Did you feel that you had to control other people so those accidents didn't continue?
I don't know why I feel like the people that he tried controlling were people with disabilities, and he got enjoyment out of it. I don't know why. That's what I'm kind of feeling.
There was a lot of people that had disabilities.
Yeah. And I feel
Well,
like he had
when it very first started, like there was this place was organized by itself. The state wasn't involved with it. It was so bad that the state had to get involved with it. Like
yeah. And I
this
feel
was
like
not a good
he
place when I
had
started
fun
out.
controlling them, and that's what I do for work. That's really just heartbreaking.
And maybe that's why we're feeling like anxiety
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Because maybe it's
Warden, why did you have cages? Why did you feel like you had to keep people in cages?
Did you view people with disabilities as not people, even though they're human beings?
That was a very deep voice. But Warden, I hope you realize that the people that you would have kept in cages nowadays, like, are free, very free people.
They're thriving.
There's talking over that way.
it's there. I don't feel this over here anymore.
No, it went over there. It's the same one. It's the same one. It's like it's staying on the outside.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps on my back, like chills. Like I feel like somebody's like behind me. Are you using me as a shield, whoever's behind me right now? 'Cause I feel you.
Really? Why are you hiding behind Christina?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like right on my neck, I'm like free. Hairs on my neck standing up.
76.8. 77.0. It's warmer apparently. It didn't change back to 76.8 though, so. 59.6 according to that for temperature. This is in Fahrenheit. That was a little kid again.
It'd be good to point out that that has gone down 3 degrees since we've been down here starting this. That has gone down 3 degrees since we've been down here working with the candles. So it's good, something good to know on the temperature drop.
It is getting darker.
It is, yeah. Do you like to hide in the shadows? Why do you like hiding in the shadows? Fear of the light?
No, I heard it clear no.
Are you in fear of the warden?
Me?
That was a laugh. Yeah. Is that the warden?
It's the overseer I call the warden here. Help me. Lost. Who needs help and who is lost? Who's lost? Is the warden lost? We call forth any spirits that are in this building or on this property to come here tonight and to join us and communicate with us. We've left 2 open chairs for any spirits that may find themselves willing to talk or communicate. Are there any spirits here that would like to make their presence known?
It was kind of weird. Between me and Christine, I've seen like a fog or apparition or mist of some type moving back and forth.
If there's a spirit here, please make your presence known.
I would say to switch it to yes or no questions because most of the devices that we have on the table, other than the audio recorder and the Ovilus, are just yes or no answer.
What about that
devices
Right, put it.
in the hallway?
That would be a good idea, actually, because then we'll know if something's out there. Yeah.
Can you check the door across the hallway and see if it closed? That doors get shut a lot.
And that was before he went out there. And we're still steadily inclining in heat, even though the temperature should be dropping because it's getting later. We're now up at 63.8, so it's still slowly climbing.
Oh,
That just went off.
yep. It's a blue again.
Is there a resident? Are you sitting in the chair here with us, visiting? Can you make either the flashlight turn on or the trip wires go off?
The temperature just increased a little bit too.
I just feel like something.
That trip just went off again, thank you. Can you make all 3 of those go off? Thank you for turning that flashlight back on. Can you turn all 3 of these? Can you trip all of those in this chair?
The temperature's at 64 now.
It's still going up, yeah.
I keep hearing like whistling.
I hear like a steady.
A high-pitched ringing.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I did hear whistling the first time you got here.
Yeah.
And there should be no electricity.
Thank you,
Thank
Spirit.
you.
Please do all 3 again for me, or the ball in the middle. That was great. And we're still climbing on that temperature.
It's getting colder under the table.
Yeah, it's cold under the table though. And there's like a slight breeze under the table.
Turn that light on in that ball, with that ball.
Oh.
And that's the sensor in the hallway going off.
Thank you. You're
Where's
doing
it
a really
aimed?
great job
You're
in
very
making
accurate.
For
yourself
the
known.
hallway.
Just straight down the hallway.
Yeah.
Come into the room with us and join us. Set off that music box to let us know you're there and come in.
Like now my shoulders and stuff are cold.
And the light just turned back on.
Are you standing behind me?
Turn the light off if you're standing behind Brooke.
There's a lot of noise coming from the hallway.
That light on the back of the chair flashed blue for a second. I keep getting that they're like standing over something. So maybe that's like with the chair, maybe standing over it. Because I almost feel like someone's standing above us. Like, it just, because I feel hot on the top of my head. And the temperature is going up too.
It's still going up.
Do you enjoy us speaking with you? Are we able to help you in some way?
1 knock for no, 2 knocks for yes.
That one's really bright.
What was that?
I heard that too.
Yeah.
That was a lot of noise.
But it sounded like it was that way.
It sounded like it was downstairs.
Yeah, like, yeah.
It felt like it was like that.
Yeah,
kind of
yep,
downstairs.
exactly, yep.
What I heard was,
It sounded like somebody walking up the stairs.
yes,
Like, and it was a lot of footsteps.
yes.
But the one I heard sounded
Yeah, I
like
heard
something
that.
Yes,
dropped.
I
That
heard,
heard
I heard
that,
that
yeah.
too, but then the footsteps
It's now
what got
65
me.
too. And the,
Something just changed.
yeah, it just
We're
flashed
still
blue.
climbing up.
Did he just come up these stairs to come talk with us?
Yeah, I just heard that shift, that like a table or something.
But closer this time,
Yeah.
by a lot.
Yeah, it was
heavy enough.
It's weird though, 'cause, like, it just sounds like it's upstairs, but there's no upstairs.
Yeah.
So it might be echoing.
Take it across this.
What was that?
Yeah, 'cause it sounds like it's like up and over.
That wasn't you guys, right? That was like a hiss or something. Is this the warden? Can you make a loud noise if it is?
It's like footsteps outside this door. Bar. What about a bar? Are you on the other side of a bar?
Or that noise again. Are you hitting like a wall or something with a bar to try to make a louder sound?
It's just the phone. It's up.
Are you the warden using your cane?
Do you think someone's
It's over
physically
there.
here?
I'm starting to question that that's
I
way too much
I
activity.
think there's a human here. I think, a human here. My spidey senses are tingling that someone's here. This usually is what I get when someone's in my house unexpectedly, and I'm never wrong with that. So I do think there's a person here. To be honest with you, I do think there's a human here.
Sir Griffin from security! If anybody's here, you better identify yourself! You understand that if we do find you, you will be arrested for trespassing.
I don't. Just the fact that I heard walking and the other noises and the thumping. There's just.
And like it's like your foot being dragged.
Yeah.
Remember when I dragged the table instead of something dragging? Yeah, sometimes your feet.
You can
might
hear
drag.
that. You'll hear that a few times with paranormal activity. You're not going to hear it consistently.
Right.
So
And that was like non-stop for a few minutes. there.
that was for a good portion of the section.
Yeah.
Like I was afraid it was my shuffling, and then I realized as I was
No,
stopped,
because
it
I
was
thought
still
that too,
going.
and then
Yeah,
I seen you two weren't even moving.
yeah. That was like everyone's reaction of like, that's still happening. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, there is a human here.
During our investigation, we were able to interact and learn about the spirits of Ian, the young boy who still visits or resides at the Almshouse, and the warden, who was a former overseer of the location, and seems to still keep living out his weekly routine at the Almshouse. During our investigation of the basement, we collected a lot of spirit box activity that pointed towards the fire that happened at the location being caused by one of the male residents that wasn't happy with something that occurred at the Almshouse. There were 2 scenes that were removed from the initial investigation that needed to be further analyzed. I will now show you these scenes, followed by our group members' reactions of seeing the evidence for the first time. First is from the beginning of our investigation in the boiler room using the candles. When we first started this part of the investigation, we were using an SB7 spirit box, but we weren't getting much activity when using the device. We did, however, catch something interesting on one of our microphones at this time.
Was
there any of these spirits here that were kept in the cages that were rumored to be in the basement?
That one's like dead still, and this one's moving.
Is there any of these spirits here that were kept in the cages that were rumored to be in the basement? Spirits here that were spirits here that were kept in the cages. Spirits here that were kept in the cages. Spirits here that were kept in the cages. Spirits here that were
I heard yes.
spirits here that were spirits here.
Angel is partially deaf and she can hear it. So
Yeah, I said I heard something at the end.
Towards the end of the investigation in the basement, when we were feeling something lurking behind us, and we went to wrap up our session of filming, we caught something we weren't expecting. It seems like it might be a good idea to take a break. How is the camera making out?
And it's not like a fear thing, it's just like, I don't know.
I feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Honestly, my.
I had that upstairs. I finally got through that. Mine, it just chills. It's behind me. It's behind me. Like the back half of my arms will get goosebumps, but the front half won't.
Yes, that's what I'm like feeling.
And it's not like a fear thing, it's
Right behind you.
yeah.
You seen that walking over his left shoulder?
I remember.
Holy that looks like a KKK uniform or something. Little pointy white hat or something. What? That is freaky.
Very often, and
It
it
happens
was
often.
after we thought. No, it doesn't happen very often.
Holy.
It literally disappears right behind
And
me.
it
It's
was
like it.
It was
Okay.
after you and Christina were feeling stuff behind you, so
And we're still in the boiler room, right?
yeah.
Wow. I've got goosebumps on my chin, all the way down my arms. My back's got goosebumps. That's crazy, John. Wow.
That's a big.
No, okay, now I see. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look pointy now. Now it looks rounded. It looks kind of like a nun. Don't that look kind of like what a nun would look like in a hospital? Not in a normal habit.
Yeah.
The hospital nuns were the white ones, the white nunneries. The white
You don't
habits
pick
or
up
whatever.
apparitions on camera very often.
No,
So.
you don't. And that one's very f***ing clear.
Like you
And that
that's,
was the first time we filmed
that is
together.
very,
So.
yeah, that's very freaking clear. Wow.
And now I see the head covering. It almost looks like you can kind of tell like the back neck piece where it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The evidence that we collected during this investigation is actually rather astonishing. Apparitions aren't captured on film very often, and to get one during our first day of filming for our documentary series is amazing. With everything that we collected just from this investigation, it will be interesting to see what we will be able to collect when we start visiting new locations that are more involved with major historical events. I'm looking forward to seeing where our project will take us and seeing what we will be able to accomplish next.